Hello and welcome back to today's lesson on 3D drawing model R. Today we're going to continue following on with what we were doing last lesson with the axle and suspension area here. Last lesson we got the main part here drawn. There's something at the top here we're looking to add in that today, and then we're going to be copying these items across so that we've got the three of them in our model. So we jump back into Fusion, we can see where we've got up to. We've got the basic drawing going on here. I'm not entirely clear looking at the pictures what we've got at the top here. So I'm just going to draw, I think, like some sort of square or circle coming at the top here, just to give it something at the top to make it look supported above the leaf spring there. We also note there's the rectangle going over the top of the leaf spring here. We're going to be drawing that, and that's quite a simple one, to be fair. Okay, so we'll start by making sure we select the crane chassis with the radio button, and then we'll create a sketch on the front of the leaf springs here. So I'm going to use a rectangle. I'm going to make sure it snaps to the bottom here. I'm just going to drag it out, making sure it's got no other constraints to it for the moment. The first constraint I'm going to add is I'm going to put the midpoint. So I'm going to select this small line at the bottom and then the large one at the back, and it will snap it to the midpoint. So no matter how wide I now make this, it will automatically keep that space in the middle. And I think I'm going to go for about 0.7mm wide. Height, I think I'm going to go and bring that down to about 1. Yeah. Okay, then we're going to select the two profiles here and then extrude it in two directions. Rotate around so you can see. We're going to come forwards, I think about 0.1, that's it. Just so we've got a bit of relief there, we don't want it to be touching this one. I'm going to drag that all the way back to the rear here, and we're going to tell it to join. So it's not cutting there. Lovely. Okay, as I say, I think I'm going to draw a circle on the top here, just so to keep it, shapes interesting. It's difficult to see on the pictures, and none of them are particularly clear. So we'll go over a circle, we'll find the midpoint, come out a bit, and then I think we'll go for about 0.7, I think. Actually, I'm going to come slightly smaller, just so that all the sides are within the edges here, so there's no islands being produced. Turn the slice off, extrude that. So edit that. So make a last join, and we'll extrude it to the top there. Okay, so we should have the one body in here still. Ooh, we've got lots, so we'll have to have a look at this. What are all these? Okay, so we're going to have to clean this up a little bit here. These are all, probably all these extrusions have made new bodies. That's a join. That's a join. That's, scroll these down, see if any of these become highlighted as we draw a code. Let's have a look. What are the rivets? So the first thing we can do then is we have a look at all these rivets. That one there. Tell that to join. Okay. That should get rid of that. Some of these will need to be cleaned up now. We need to find out what these are. That one there. Edit that. Join. Okay. So what we got left? More rivets at the bottom here. It's these. Okay, so let's have a look at these now. So what are these? So we have a look at the sketch. Okay, so that's the base there. So we edit this feature. Click on join. Will that fix it? Yes, it will. So we just got to go back in there, edit the feature, make sure it joins. And all those warnings there were just because the body numbers had increased, didn't know which body was which. So just going back along those, changing those, has fixed that quite nicely. As you can see, we're back down to one body as we should be. Okay, so I think we've got to a point now where I'm reasonably happy with how this axle is looking. So I'm going to copy this across to final positions here. So if we look at the canvas, it's that one that we're after. So we're going to have to now go through our history and work out how far back all of this lot is, and then copy them over. So scroll into the history. It's not that far. So it's there. So if we do pattern from here and just select all these features. Try again, make sure they're features. Direction that way. We'll just do 2 of them. It's struggling on the piece here a little bit here. That's it. See how it looks. Okay, so you can see that it needs to move over a little bit more. So you go into there, over the feature, put 10.2. Yeah, that's too much. It's only 10.1, I think. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So then we just do the same and copy that across. Make sure nothing else is looking wrong there. But just going to copy that pattern, so if we do that like this, do 2. That's running much better there. It seems to be computing it easier. We only added 10.1, so we need a little bit more. 10.15, that looks better. I might need a little bit there actually. We edit that. That looks better. So we've got 10.12 there, and then take the 2 off of there, just added 10.13 there. It's probably actually should be 10.12. And they should all be even. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that looks better. So we've now got those 3 copied across. Obviously, when we go to the other side, we've drawn them here, we just mirror it across, and that should be nice and easy. Okay, so I've just been looking at the jacking points here to see about drawing these next. But what I think happens is this I-beam shape has this on the other end of it. So this side would slide out to the right hand side of the wagon. This side would slide to the left, and on the other end of here would be the corresponding I-beam on the other side. So we can't really draw these yet, because when we mirror them over, you'd end up with the jacking point on both, the same position on both sides. So we'll have to do those as a separate part a little bit later. But looking around the rest of the detail here, I think we've got pretty much everything we can draw that's on this side frame here. The only thing we can do is on the reverse of these, put in the axle points for the pinpoints on the back here. So if we jump back into Fusion, all we've got to do is find this point on the other side. Okay, so for doing this, a quick little cheat that I use is I just find, because we're going to want to have the hole on this part here and go into the frame, I just find the drawing that the initial extrusion here is on, and then we'll extrude it back the other way. So if we just scroll back through the history till we get to where we drew those axle boxes there, which I believe is that one. So if we now come back into history here, back to this point, we open this sketch, which was sketch 34, come down to our sketches. You can now find that inner profile there, which is that one. And then if we do an extrusion, we want it to be cutting to that point. We've now got the hole that we require. Do that, and if we turn, let's get the canvas off, we're able to see what we're looking at there. You can see we've now got the hole on the back here for our axles to go into. Okay, so if we now jump back through our history, what you'll notice is that we've still only got one. Okay, so all we've got to do is find that extrusion there and add it into these. So we come to edit feature, objects, if we just hold control, click on that item as well, that will then copy those across as well. And you've only got to do it on the first one, because the second one's a pattern of the first one. So once you've done it, it's there and dusted, sorted. So we've now got those axles. If you needed to make them bigger, which I'm not sure if we will or not, you can just then you've got a midpoint here, you can just extrude a bigger circle. Okay, so we've now got our pinpoints, we've got our axles on this front side here. So we're pretty much there or thereabouts, I think, with this plate here. And I'm pretty happy with how that's starting to look, reasonably detailed. The one thing we are going to need is a complete copy of these when we draw the bogey here, but we're not going to be able to do that until after we've mirrored the body over. I think on the next video I'm going to try and find some more details to add on to the front buffer beam here, but the photos aren't the clearest on these areas, so we are going to be sort of doing the best we can in that sort of area. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's only a short one, and I'm pretty sure you expected this was going to be done in this method. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please press the like and subscribe button.